You can walk into a room and in the first 3 seconds know exactly who's winning at life and who's lying to themselves. You can see it in their eyes, in the way they sit, in the way they breathe. The truth is, people don't control what they show. They leak it. Every hesitation, every twitch, every fake smile is a confession, and if you learn to read it, you will always be 2 moves ahead. Most people are blind because they think words matter more than energy. But words are cheap. Body language is the truth written in permanent ink. You've been lied to since childhood, told to listen to what people say. No, watch what they do. Feel the vibe they carry. Notice the speed of their movements, the rhythm of their gestures. A confident man doesn't rush. A broken one hides behind speed and noise. Mastering the art of reading people is like having a superpower. You'll know who to trust, who to challenge, and who to walk away from before they even speak. Once you own this skill, no one can manipulate you, and every social interaction becomes a game you control. Eye contact is the oldest language in the world, spoken long before humans ever invented speech, and yet most people have no idea how to read it or use it. The moment your eyes meet someone else's, there's a silent exchange of power. It's primal, it's instinctive, and it's brutally honest. You can't fake the message your eyes send because the eyes are connected directly to the emotional brain. They bypass the filter of your words. That's why in the wild, animals stare each other down before a fight, and why in the business world, the strongest people hold their gaze like they own the air between you. When you look into someone's eyes, you instantly feel where they stand: dominant, fearful, or submissive. A dominant person doesn't just look. They own the space of that eye contact. They don't dart away. They don't flinch. Their gaze is steady, relaxed, unhurried. It's not an aggressive glare. It's quiet certainty. They look at you as if they already know they've won. And here's the thing, that calm power is contagious. When someone looks at you with dominance, you feel it in your chest, like a weight pressing down. Fear, on the other hand, shows itself in broken eye contact. People who are scared don't want to be seen, so they look away too soon. Sometimes they try to fake confidence by holding eye contact for too long, but it's stiff, forced, almost like they're trying to prove something to themselves. The blink rate goes up, the pupils contract, and their eyes lose depth. You can feel the insecurity because their gaze doesn't invite you in. It tries to keep you out. And then there's submission, which is even more revealing. A submissive person drops their gaze quickly and often. They look down, not to the side, because looking down is the body's way of saying, you're above me. I accept your authority. In human interaction, that small movement gives away who controls the dynamic. Even if they smile, even if they try to act happy, the eyes betray the hierarchy. What most people don't realize is that eye contact is not just about looking, it's about reading. You can tell when someone is holding eye contact with warmth and when they're holding it as a challenge. You can feel when their eyes are scanning you for weakness. And once you can see this, you become dangerous because you can adjust in real time. In negotiations, you can hold someone's gaze just long enough to let them know you won't be moved. Then break it on your terms, signaling that you control the pace. In dating, you can use prolonged eye contact to build tension and spark attraction because the brain interprets it as intimacy. In conflict, you can disarm someone by holding a calm, unblinking stare while they lose composure because humans are wired to feel exposed under a steady gaze. There's also a rhythm to eye contact that separates the masters from the amateurs. Dominant eye contact isn't about staring nonstop like a robot. That's aggression, and it triggers resistance. True dominance is knowing when to look, when to break, and when to return. It's a dance. You maintain presence without making the other person feel trapped, but you also never allow them to feel like they're in control of the exchange. You'll notice that truly confident people can look at you, break eye contact to glance around the room without losing their power, and then return to your eyes as if they never left. It shows they're relaxed enough to move freely in the interaction without fearing they'll lose status. Fearful people can't do this. When they look away, they often avoid coming back, or they return too quickly, almost apologetically. In reality, learning to read eye contact is about training your awareness to notice the micro moments most people miss. The human face is constantly in motion, and the eyes reveal micro-expressions that last less than half a second. A quick widening of the eyes might signal surprise or fear. A rapid narrowing might signal suspicion or aggression. Pupils dilating can mean excitement or interest, but they can also dilate in fear. The difference is in the rest of the facial tension. The trick is to read these in context with the situation and the body language around it. If you combine what you see in the eyes with the person's posture, breathing, and energy, you can paint an incredibly accurate picture of their mental state in real time. The problem is that most people aren't paying attention. They're too busy thinking about what they're going to say next instead of studying the truth in front of them. The reason dominance, fear, and submission are so easy to detect through the eyes is because they're rooted in survival instincts. Our ancestors needed to instantly know who was in charge, who was a threat, and who would follow. That wiring hasn't changed. Even today, a dominant stare in a boardroom triggers the same chemical reactions in your brain as a predator's gaze in the jungle. You either rise to meet it or shrink away. Once you understand this, you can train yourself to project exactly what you want. If you want to radiate dominance, the key is calm focus. Don't stare in an aggressive way. Simply anchor your gaze to theirs without fidgeting, without blinking excessively, without darting around. Keep your breathing slow. Let them see that you're present, that you're not in a rush to escape the moment. If you want to avoid signaling fear, you must control your urge to look away too quickly. Force yourself to hold the gaze just a beat longer than feels comfortable. Over time, that discomfort will fade, and holding eye contact will feel natural. To break free from signaling submission, you have to retrain your reflex to drop your gaze. Practice lifting your chin slightly and meeting the other person's eyes instead. It will feel unnatural at first, but confidence is a muscle. It grows with use. Mastering eye contact isn't about manipulation. It's about understanding the language that people have been speaking unconsciously since the beginning of time. When you can see dominance, fear, and submission instantly, you don't waste time guessing someone's intentions. You don't get blindsided by betrayal or caught off guard in negotiations. You walk into every interaction already knowing who's who, and that makes you unshakable. The moment you can read someone's eyes, you're not just seeing them, you're seeing the truth they can't hide, and that is power. Microexpressions are the invisible truth tellers of human interaction, the tiny flashes of emotion that slip through the cracks before a person's mind has a chance to cover them up. They're lightning fast, often lasting less than half a second. And yet they reveal more about what someone is really feeling than any carefully chosen words ever could. Think of microexpressions as the window into the soul's unfiltered response, the raw emotions that a person tries to bury deep down but can't control in that brief moment. These subtle, involuntary facial movements are a direct line to what's happening beneath the surface. Fear, anger, disgust, surprise, sadness, or joy, all bursting through the mask we wear for the world. Understanding microexpressions isn't just a skill, it's a secret weapon in a world full of deception, pretenses, and hidden agendas. When you learn to catch these fleeting signs, you can read people like an open book, seeing the true story beneath the lies they tell themselves and others. Most people don't realize how often their face betrays them. In conversation, someone might be smiling politely, but their eyes flash a moment of contempt or sadness. A person might say they're confident, but a quick tightening around the lips or a fleeting furrow of the brow reveals doubt. These tiny automatic expressions happen before the conscious mind kicks in to censor them. That's why microexpressions are so powerful. They're unedited, raw signals sent straight from the emotional core. The brain's emotional center, the amygdala, reacts faster than the neocortex, which controls logic and reasoning. So, no matter how much someone rehearses what they're going to say or how hard they try to hide their feelings, their face will betray them for a split second. Learning to spot microexpressions means training your eyes to catch the subtle twitches that most people miss entirely. It requires patience and practice because these expressions flash by quicker than a blink. But once you develop this ability, you become like a detective in every interaction, scanning the landscape of emotions under the surface. You start to notice that when someone says, "I'm fine," their eyes might briefly narrow in fear or their mouth might twitch with sadness. When a colleague promises to support you, a fleeting flicker of disgust or contempt can reveal their true intentions. These moments are tiny cracks in the mask, and if you're paying attention, you can use them to protect yourself, gain the upper hand, or build genuine connection. What makes microexpressions especially fascinating is that they're universal. Across all cultures and languages, humans express basic emotions with the same facial movements. This universality means that you don't need to understand the word someone speaks to decode their true feelings. A flash of anger looks the same whether it comes from a CEO in New York or a street vendor in Brazil. This makes microexpression reading a powerful tool for navigating any social environment, no matter how unfamiliar or complex. One of the biggest advantages of mastering microexpression reading is the ability to detect deception. When someone lies, their brain scrambles to fabricate a story, but the emotional reaction to lying, fear, guilt, or shame, often leaks out through these involuntary expressions. A liar might flash a quick expression of fear or disgust before forcing a smile. Detecting these micro moments can alert you that something is off, even if their words seem convincing. This is why people trained in microexpression analysis are often able to tell when someone is hiding something critical long before it's openly admitted. But microexpressions don't only expose lies or hidden motives, they reveal vulnerabilities too. In relationships, noticing when a partner's face momentarily shows sadness, anxiety, or frustration can open the door to deeper empathy and connection. It allows you to respond not just to what's said, but to what's felt, creating a bond based on real understanding rather than surface-level communication. In leadership, recognizing microexpressions of doubt or resistance among your team can help you address concerns before they fester into problems. In negotiations, spotting fear or hesitation can give you the leverage to push harder or offer reassurance strategically. The challenge is that most people don't want to see microexpressions because they force us to face uncomfortable truths about ourselves and others. They strip away polite facades and expose the raw human emotions we often try to ignore. But embracing this reality is what separates winners from the rest. When you can read microexpressions, you're no longer fooled by empty words or fake smiles. You see the real story playing out beneath the surface, and that knowledge is power. To train yourself, start by watching people closely, not just their words, but the subtle changes in their faces. Watch films or interviews with the sound off and try to guess the emotions based on facial movements alone. Notice the brief flickers of emotion that come and go, like a rapid furrowing of the brow, a sudden tightening around the mouth, or the brief raising of the eyebrows. These tiny changes are the clues you're looking for. Over time, your brain will begin to pick up these signals automatically, turning you into a human lie detector and emotional radar. Another critical point is context. Microexpressions need to be read in relation to the situation and the person's normal behavior. If someone normally has a furrowed brow, a slight furrow might not mean anger. It could just be their resting expression. But if you notice a change from their baseline, that's where the real insight lies. The key is to combine microexpression reading with other body language cues, tone of voice, and situational awareness to build a full picture of what's happening. It's also important to understand that microexpressions reveal emotions, not intentions. Just because someone shows fear or anger doesn't mean they're going to act on it. But knowing these emotions exist beneath their words gives you a strategic advantage. You can anticipate reactions, prepare responses, and navigate conversations with precision. This emotional insight lets you lead with empathy or pressure with precision, depending on what the situation demands. When you master microexpressions, you step into a world of clarity. You become someone who can see through the fog of politeness and pretense, someone who knows exactly what's going on beneath the surface. You no longer get blindsided by hidden agendas or unexpected betrayals because you're constantly reading the emotional undercurrents. You become a force in every room, not because you talk the loudest, but because you see the truth no one else can. This skill is a game changer in every part of life. In business, it helps you close deals by reading clients' true feelings. In relationships, it deepens intimacy by recognizing unspoken fears and desires. In social settings, it keeps you safe by detecting threats and deception before they escalate. The moment you start seeing microexpressions, you realize how often people lie not just with words, but with their very faces. And you become the person who calls those lies out without saying a word. In the end, microexpressions are the raw, unfiltered pulse of human emotion, and learning to read them is like tuning into a secret frequency. It's not about being manipulative, it's about being awake, aware, and in control. When you catch those split-second truths, you hold the power to shape your reality, influence outcomes, and master the art of reading people without them ever knowing you're watching. That's a power worth owning. Posture is the silent language of confidence, the unspoken declaration that broadcasts your inner strength before you even say a word. When someone walks into a room with their shoulders back, chest open, and head held high, they're telling the world that they belong there, that they're ready to take on whatever comes their way. This kind of presence commands attention effortlessly because it signals power and self-assuredness at a primal level. It's an instinctive cue to others that you are not to be underestimated or overlooked. On the other hand, slouching, shrinking down, or avoiding eye contact broadcasts doubt, fear, and insecurity. Posture doesn't lie, and it's far more honest than the tone of your voice, which can be controlled or masked with practice. The way you carry your body is a truth teller. It reveals how you feel about yourself and how you expect others to treat you. Confidence literally stands tall. It creates space, both physically and psychologically. When you take up space, you send a message that you're comfortable in your skin and that you expect respect. This is why in every culture and era, leaders and dominant figures naturally exhibit expansive, upright postures. Even animals do this. Lions stand tall to show strength. Wolves raise their heads to assert dominance. Human beings are no different. The body is wired to respond to posture as a social cue. It's a form of communication that goes beyond words. A tall posture can make you feel more powerful internally, triggering physiological changes like increased testosterone and decreased cortisol levels, which in turn boost your confidence. This feedback loop between mind and body is critical. The way you hold yourself shapes the way you think and feel, not just how others perceive you. When posture is weak, it communicates a lack of confidence that no amount of bravado or loud speech can mask. Slumped shoulders, a bowed head, and a hunched back are nonverbal cries of insecurity and submission. People who carry themselves this way tend to be ignored, talked over, and undervalued because their body language invites others to take control. Weak posture shrinks your presence, makes your voice softer, and your words less convincing. Even if you have the sharpest ideas or the most compelling arguments, if your posture signals low self-worth, your message loses power. This is why mastering posture is one of the fastest ways to change how the world sees you and how you see yourself. True confidence is calm and grounded, not loud or aggressive. It doesn't need to shout or overcompensate because it's rooted in security. The posture of confidence is steady, balanced, and relaxed. It's about standing tall without stiffness, moving with ease without tension. This natural grace signals that you're in control, comfortable with who you are and what you bring to the table. When you adopt this posture, others instinctively respect you. They feel the energy you give off before you open your mouth. It creates an invisible boundary that protects your space and your dignity. This is why people who stand tall and move confidently naturally attract attention and influence social dynamics without saying a single word. Posture also affects how you breathe, which in turn influences your voice and emotional state. When you stand or sit upright, your lungs expand fully, allowing deeper, more controlled breaths. This produces a stronger, clearer voice and supports emotional regulation. Conversely, poor posture compresses the chest, restricts breathing, and results in shallow, rapid breaths that increase anxiety and weaken your vocal presence. This is a physiological reason why posture speaks louder than tone. The way you hold your body shapes your voice's natural resonance and the emotional signals you send out. A person who stands tall with deep, steady breathing exudes calm authority even if their words are few. Beyond first impressions, posture communicates your emotional state throughout any interaction. When you're engaged and confident, you lean slightly forward, open your chest, and maintain a balanced stance. These signals say, I'm here, I'm interested, and I'm ready. If you're uncertain or defensive, you close off your body by crossing your arms, shrinking your torso, or turning slightly away. These postural cues betray your true feelings, often before you even realize them yourself. That's why people who master their posture control not only how others perceive them, but also how they experience their own emotions. Standing tall is an act of claiming your power and showing the world you're ready to play at the highest level. There's also a strategic side to posture in social and professional settings. When negotiating, standing, or sitting with an open, upright posture signals confidence and readiness to engage, making it harder for others to intimidate or manipulate you. It sets a tone of equality or dominance depending on the context. For example, leaning forward slightly during a negotiation shows interest but also assertiveness. On the other hand, slumping or leaning back too much can signal disinterest or submission, inviting others to push their agenda. In leadership, posture affects how followers respond. A leader who stands tall and moves with purpose inspires trust and motivates action. Their posture creates a silent assurance that they're capable and in control, which ripples through the entire group. Body language experts often say that posture is a form of power posing, and there's real science behind this concept. Research has shown that adopting expansive postures for even just 2 minutes can increase feelings of confidence and risk tolerance. This means that posture is not only a reflection of your current state, but also a tool you can use to change it. If you're nervous before a big presentation or social interaction, consciously adjusting your posture to stand tall, pull your shoulders back, and open your chest can trick your brain into feeling more confident. This simple shift changes your internal chemistry, making you calmer and more assertive. Over time, practicing powerful posture becomes a habit that permanently enhances your presence. Yet many people neglect this fundamental tool because they underestimate its importance or don't realize how much their posture communicates. Instead, they focus on what to say, what tone to use, or how to dress. While those things matter, none of them are as immediate and impactful as the message your body sends through posture. The moment you walk into a room, before you even speak, people are making judgments about you based on how you hold yourself. If your posture is weak, they unconsciously perceive you as less capable or less worthy. If it's strong, they give you the benefit of the doubt, assume competence, and listen more closely to your words. Improving posture requires awareness and practice. Start by checking in with your body throughout the day. Notice how you sit, stand, and walk. Are your shoulders rounded? Is your head drooping? Are you taking shallow breaths? Then make small adjustments, roll your shoulders back, lengthen your spine, tuck your chin slightly, and breathe deeply. Use a mirror or record yourself to see how you look. Over time, these adjustments become second nature, and your body language naturally shifts to reflect greater confidence. The transformation isn't just external. You'll start feeling more powerful and in control in every situation. Posture also interacts with your mental state in a feedback loop. When you feel confident, your posture improves. When you improve your posture, you feel more confident. This cycle can either elevate you or drag you down depending on which way you lean. If you're aware of this, you can break negative cycles by consciously choosing to stand tall even when you don't feel like it. The body doesn't lie. If you fake it long enough, your brain catches up and starts to believe it, rewiring your mindset toward greater self-assurance. In high-stakes environments like business meetings, social gatherings, or public speaking, posture can be your secret weapon. It's the difference between being remembered as a leader or being overlooked as a background noise. People are drawn to those who project strength through their physical presence. When your posture matches your ambition, it creates alignment that others feel instinctively. You don't need to shout to be heard. Your body says it all for you. Ultimately, posture is more than just how you hold your body. It's the foundation of your personal brand, your first line of communication, and your invisible armor. It's a statement that you're here to be seen, heard, and respected. When you master this silent language, you gain control over how others perceive you and how you experience yourself. Confidence standing tall isn't just a cliche. It's a biological fact and a psychological strategy. It's the core of presence and power, the unshakable base on which all success is built. So stand tall, breathe deeply, open your chest, and claim your space in the world, because posture speaks louder than tone, and confidence always stands tall. Energy is the invisible force that fills a room the moment you step inside, the subtle current that flows between people before a single word is spoken. It's not something you see, it's something you feel deep in your gut. A primal sensation that tells you everything you need to know about a person's intentions, their mood, their authenticity. This energy is the foundation of human connection. More honest, more immediate, and more powerful than language. You can try to lie with your words, manipulate with your tone, or fake a smile, but the energy you give off is raw and impossible to hide. It's the essence of your presence, and it speaks louder than any speech or script. Learning to trust your instinct about this energy is one of the most valuable skills you can develop, because it's your internal radar for truth, danger, and opportunity. From the moment you meet someone, your body picks up on subtle vibrations, the speed of their movements, the tension in their muscles, the rhythm of their breathing. These signals create an energetic fingerprint that your subconscious reads instantly. If the energy feels heavy, tense, or aggressive, your brain alerts you to potential threat or discomfort. If it feels light, open, and steady, you sense safety and trustworthiness. This initial energy exchange sets the tone for everything that follows. It's why sometimes you walk into a room and immediately know who to approach and who to avoid, even if you can't put your finger on why. Your instinct is picking up on the unspoken language of energy, guiding you before your rational mind even gets involved. This is why people say energy precedes words. It's the unfiltered truth underneath all communication. Or you could be in a conversation where the other person's words sound polite or enthusiastic, but their energy tells a different story: boredom, irritation, or insecurity. That dissonance is easy to detect if you're tuned in, because it creates an uncomfortable tension in the air. On the other hand, when someone's energy aligns perfectly with their words, it builds a powerful trust that words alone could never achieve. People instinctively know when you're genuine because your energy carries that truth. The best leaders, negotiators, and influencers all understand this intuitively. They project an energy that draws people in and convinces without needing to shout or push. Your own energy is equally important. It shapes how others perceive you and how you navigate the world. When your energy is low, closed off, or anxious, you send out signals that repel connection and invite disrespect. People pick up on nervousness or hesitation, even if your words try to mask it. Conversely, when your energy is strong, open, and calm, you attract positive attention, create a magnetic presence, and influence the dynamics around you. This is not about being loud or flashy. It's about being grounded and authentic. Energy flows from how you feel inside, your mental state, your emotions, your physical condition, and it's visible to everyone you interact with. The truth is, most people are disconnected from their own energy. They live in their heads, analyzing, overthinking, and trying to control every interaction through words alone. This leaves them vulnerable because words can be manipulated, but energy cannot. It's the raw emotional and physical state you bring into every moment. Learning to feel and control your energy means tuning into your body, your breath, and your emotions. It means understanding when you're tense or relaxed, engaged or withdrawn, and using that awareness to shape your presence. The more connected you are to your energy, the more instinctive your social intelligence becomes. You start to trust your gut reactions because they're based on sensing this invisible flow. Trusting your instinct about energy isn't about being paranoid or jumping to conclusions. It's about respecting the information your body gives you. Your subconscious mind is wired to pick up patterns, emotional cues, and micro signals faster than your conscious brain can process. This is why gut feelings often prove accurate when it comes to reading people. When you feel uneasy around someone or sense something off in a situation, that's your energy radar warning you. Ignoring it leads to mistakes, bad decisions, misplaced trust, or missed opportunities. But listening to it gives you a head start. It helps you navigate social dynamics with more precision and confidence. In fact, the most successful people in the world consistently talk about trusting their gut and reading energy. They develop an acute sensitivity to the atmosphere around them. Whether it's a business meeting, a social event, or a negotiation, they're constantly scanning the room for the energetic cues that reveal who is aligned with their goals and who isn't. This allows them to adapt their strategy in real time, stepping forward with confidence when the energy is right, or stepping back when it's not. They understand that words alone don't close deals or build alliances. Energy does. Energy is also contagious. When you enter a room with positive, calm, and focused energy, you uplift everyone around you. People respond not just to what you say, but how you make them feel. This is the secret to inspiring leadership and deep connection. Conversely, negative or chaotic energy spreads just as quickly and can poison relationships and opportunities. Being aware of the energy you bring and how to manage it is a responsibility and a superpower. You can't control other people's energy, but you can control your own, and that control sets the tone for every interaction. Physical practices like controlled breathing, posture adjustments, and mindful movement can help regulate your energy. When you feel your energy flagging or becoming scattered, taking a moment to breathe deeply and reset your posture can restore calm and focus. This shifts your internal state, which in turn shifts the energy you project. Meditation, visualization, and grounding exercises are also powerful tools to build energetic awareness and stability. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to enter any room or conversation with a composed, confident energy that others naturally gravitate toward. It's also essential to recognize that energy varies across situations and people. Some people have naturally intense, high-energy presences that fill a space, while others are quieter but radiate calm confidence. Neither is better. The key is authenticity and alignment with your purpose. Trying to fake an energy that's not yours is exhausting and ultimately ineffective because people sense insincerity. Instead, cultivate the energy that reflects your true self and the message you want to send. This genuine energy resonates deeply and builds trust far more effectively than any rehearsed script or polished speech. Understanding energy also means learning to read when others' energy changes. People's emotional states fluctuate moment to moment, and their energy shifts accordingly. Spotting these shifts gives you insight into their true feelings and intentions before they even voice them. For example, someone might start a conversation with calm, friendly energy, but suddenly become tense or withdrawn when a sensitive topic arises. Noticing this shift alerts you to tread carefully or adjust your approach. This sensitivity to energy flow transforms you into a master of social navigation, able to move smoothly through complex dynamics without friction. Energy is, in essence, the core of human connection. It's what creates chemistry, trust, and influence. Words are important, but without the right energy behind them, they fall flat or even backfire. The people who succeed in any field are those who understand that before you convince someone with your arguments, you must first connect with them through your energy. It's why some speakers can move crowds with simple stories and others fail despite elaborate presentations. The difference lies in the energy they carry, the authenticity, passion, and presence that come through before a single sentence is spoken. At a deeper level, trusting your instinct about energy means embracing your intuition and learning to honor the wisdom your body holds. It's a form of self-trust that strengthens all aspects of your life. When you believe in your internal sense of what feels right or wrong, you make decisions with more clarity and confidence. This reduces doubt and second guessing, making you more decisive and effective. Your instinct becomes a compass, guiding you through the unpredictable terrain of relationships and challenges. In conclusion, energy is the silent but powerful force that precedes words and reveals the truth behind appearances. It's the emotional current that connects us all and the lens through which instinct sees reality. Trusting your instinct about energy isn't just a useful skill, it's a fundamental shift in how you interact with the world. When you tune into this subtle language, you gain the ability to read people instantly, protect yourself from deception, and create authentic, powerful connections. Energy is felt before words because it is the purest expression of who you are and what you bring into every moment. Mastering this energy and learning to trust your gut instinct is the key to mastering the art of reading people without saying a word. Consistency between words and actions is the ultimate currency of trust and authenticity in any relationship, whether personal or professional. It's easy to say things that sound good, to make promises that please others. But what truly defines a person's character and credibility is whether their actions align with their words. This alignment is the only real proof of truth because words alone are fleeting. They can be manipulated, misunderstood, or forgotten. Actions, however, are concrete, visible, and undeniable. When what you say matches what you do, you build a foundation of reliability that others can depend on. Without this consistency, words become empty noise and trust crumbles. People don't just listen to what you say, they watch what you do. And it's through your behavior that your true intentions are revealed. From the very first interaction, people are subconsciously measuring the harmony between your statements and your behavior. If your words promise one thing, but your actions deliver another, suspicion creeps in quickly. This disconnect breeds confusion and doubt. Imagine someone who constantly talks about integrity and honesty, but is frequently caught lying or breaking commitments. No matter how eloquent their speech, their inconsistency undermines their credibility. Conversely, someone who may not speak often or with great flourish, but consistently follows through on their promises commands respect and trust. People feel safe around them because they know what to expect. Consistency becomes a language of its own, a silent agreement that you are dependable and truthful. This principle applies in every sphere of life. In business, leaders who preach transparency but operate behind closed doors lose the confidence of their teams. Customers who hear grand marketing promises but receive poor service quickly turn away. In friendships and relationships, people who say I care but fail to show it through actions create emotional distance. It's easy to be caught in the trap of using words to cover up insecurities or mistakes, but true strength lies in owning your commitments and aligning your behavior accordingly. When words and actions match, you embody integrity, which is a powerful magnet for loyalty and connection. Consistency between words and actions also builds your personal brand. Your reputation is the collective memory of how you behave over time. One isolated moment of inconsistency can cause damage, but repeated alignment between what you say and what you do creates an unshakable identity. This reliability fosters long-term success because people know they can count on you to be who you say you are. It's the difference between fleeting impressions and lasting influence. When your actions consistently reflect your values and promises, you become a living example of your own truth, inspiring others to trust and follow you. Moreover, inconsistency creates internal conflict. When your actions don't match your words, you create cognitive dissonance within yourself, a mental discomfort that arises when your beliefs and behaviors are out of sync. This dissonance erodes self-respect and confidence because deep down, you know you're not living authentically. It's a psychological burden that affects your mental clarity and emotional well-being. On the other hand, when you practice consistency, you cultivate self-trust and inner harmony. You know you're reliable not just to others, but to yourself. This alignment strengthens your sense of identity and fuels your motivation to maintain integrity in all areas of life. Practicing consistency requires conscious effort and discipline. It means thinking before you speak and making promises only when you are willing and able to keep them. It means following through on commitments even when it's difficult or inconvenient. It means being honest about your limitations and mistakes rather than covering them up with empty words. This kind of integrity isn't about perfection. It's about accountability and authenticity. People respect those who admit flaws and take responsibility because it shows courage and maturity. When your actions back up your words, you create a cycle of trust that grows stronger with each honest interaction. Consistency also plays a crucial role in communication. People are naturally skeptical when words don't match actions because they rely on behavior as the ultimate proof of sincerity. This skepticism is a protective mechanism that guards against manipulation and deception. When you're consistent, you bypass this doubt and create clear, straightforward communication. Your message becomes more powerful because it's supported by tangible evidence. Whether you're leading a team, negotiating a deal, or nurturing a friendship, your credibility hinges on this alignment. Without it, communication breaks down and relationships falter. In leadership, consistency is especially vital. Leaders who model alignment between their words and actions set the tone for their entire organization. Their teams learn to trust their vision and follow their example because they see integrity in practice. Inconsistent leaders breed confusion, disengagement, and mistrust, which ultimately harms productivity and morale. Great leaders know that their power comes not from their position, but from their character, which is demonstrated through consistent behavior. They understand that every decision, every interaction is an opportunity to reinforce their credibility and build a culture of trust. On a broader scale, consistency between words and actions shapes societal trust. Institutions, governments, and public figures that fail to live up to their promises face widespread cynicism and disengagement. People become disillusioned when rhetoric doesn't match reality, and social cohesion suffers. In contrast, consistent behavior builds social capital, the trust and goodwill that hold communities together. When leaders and citizens alike align their words with their deeds, they create a foundation for collaboration, progress, and shared values. This principle also applies to personal growth and self-improvement. Setting goals and declaring intentions is common, but real change happens when your actions consistently reflect those goals. Talking about wanting to get fit or learn a skill is meaningless without daily practice and effort. Your progress is the proof of your commitment. When you consistently act in alignment with your aspirations, you reinforce positive habits and build momentum. This consistency fuels confidence and creates a sense of accomplishment that words alone cannot provide. It's important to recognize that consistency doesn't mean rigidity or inflexibility. Life is complex and sometimes requires adapting your actions or changing your mind. True consistency means being honest and transparent about these changes, not pretending to be something you're not. It's about integrity in process, not perfection in outcome. If your words and actions shift because of new information or growth, openly communicate that to maintain trust. People respect authenticity over facade. The key is that your actions remain a truthful reflection of your current values and commitments. Developing this alignment between words and actions often begins with